So, again, I'm gonna ask you, right? The 20. Now I think we're at 0%, unless you can bring to me a legitimate argument against Islam. The Prophet Muhammad is genuinely a prophet of God.
I would have think to some things. You see, because now a lot of stuff that I used to think, I think is just coming from Islamophobic stuff, you know what I mean?
100%. That's why the Quran tells you to go and talk to the people with knowledge, and that's what you're doing. You're so genuine. You go and meeting two different imams, right? And then you're talking to some guy on the street too,
Yes.
right? So that to me shows that you know that the truth is the truth. And look at the arguments that you're bringing up. You always paraphrase it with saying, "Oh well, I hear a lot of Christians say this," or "I hear." You know that they're not being genuine, right? When I tell you something, I show you evidence. I don't just make claims of it, and you can tell that I've read it,
Yes.
right? Like wherever you go, you'll see notes. That to me is genuineness. And you bring scriptures to me when you have questions.
Yes.
So what is stopping you today from accepting Islam?
Yeah. No, this is both. It's gone. Yeah.
Sorry.
So, yeah, you see it? Yes. No, there you go.
All right, cool.
I'm sorry, bro.
It's all good, bro.
Yes.
He was looking for a home. He was
Yes.
looking for a home.
But honestly, I don't think there's anything I could really.
Look,
Yeah.
you going and telling your family is one thing.
Yeah.
And I'm never going to pressure you that you have to do it tomorrow or today. I always tell people this because I have friends who are Italian. If you think it's bad, there are people who are Italian that literally, if you leave Catholicism, even if you don't believe in it, it's like a gang. So if you leave it, they will kill you. And my friends have been threatened by their family to say that if we find out you became Muslim, we will kill you.
I heard it's the same with apostasy in Islam, though, like in Saudi Arabia, all these places.
But that's what I'm saying, right? Like, don't allow the threats of people to stop you from pursuing the truth, because the truth is applicable to you, and God will hold you accountable to that truth. So don't worry about your family. We'll take steps to address those things. But right now, the question I have for you is: do you believe in your heart that Islam is genuinely true?
I want to say no, but I don't have facts to go off of it. It's kind of like I'm stuck in this weird spot. Like,
It's in your heart. It's in your head.
I mean, I want to say yes and no, but I have no reason to really say no. Honestly, like I'm scrambling for a reason. I don't have any. Like,
Let me ask you this. If I invited you to Islam today, and I said to you that there is no need for you... Yeah, take something cold. Jazakallah, bro.
but like, continue. I'm sorry.
I had to get me some good, bro. I'm a fiend for coffee.
Goodness, this is perfect. Word.
Yeah, right here.
But continue. You're saying if you invite me to Islam.
No one expects you to become a saint tomorrow, right? No one expects you to become an imam. No one expects you to become the perfect Muslim. Islam took 23 years to be revealed over time to Prophet Muhammad. They had the best teacher. They had the guidance directly given to them. But it still took that long amount of time. So my view to you would be this: if you know that it's the truth, accept it in your heart, because if you were to leave here today and something happened, imagine you were questioned by your creator, and your creator said to you, you knew Islam was true, yes or no? And in your heart, you know it's true. But he said, did you accept it? To that, you would say no. And imagine he said to you, why? What would be your reason that you gave to the creator? I'm not saying I'm God, but imagine if he questioned you and said, why? What would be your reasoning?
Only batteries, honestly. Oh, I don't want to be associated with people who do certain things. Oh, my family. Oh, this. Oh, that. That I couldn't give good reasons. I couldn't give reasons of like ignorance anymore. That's not even really the reason. There's no good reasons, honestly. You know what I mean?
And so I'll continue and end it with this, right? If I said to you, do you believe that there's only one worthy of worship, and that is the Creator? Would you agree?
Yes.
And that Creator has no partners with him.
Like no other gods, right?
Yeah.
Just one. Yeah.
Just one God.
Yes.
And that, from what you know, that the Prophet Muhammad is a messenger of God. Factually.
I'd say so, yeah.
Then you're a Muslim. Do you know what you just did without realizing it?
Don't tell me I just said the Shahada.
You said the Shahada, but you didn't say it, right? You answered the questions.
Yes.
So I want you to take 2 minutes and honestly and sincerely reflect upon this. Do you think that statement that I asked you is true? Because if you didn't, would you come back here randomly on a day's notice to come and see me? Would you go and see Imam Abdullah Smith tomorrow? Would you go and see the Imam that you saw yesterday? If you did not believe that there's truth to it?
No, I wouldn't.
You would have ran away.
Exactly. I would have been like, oh, this is foolishness. All this.
So like I said to you before, no one needs to know that you've accepted Islam, right? But you can do it with your friends here. And my promise to you would be this. I wouldn't let you go. Yes, you will still have your questions and I would tell you, yes, you can ask me any questions. But the difference between you asking those questions then versus now is right now you have the faith. Let's build upon it with a purpose. So I invite you to accept Islam, and then from there, let's continue to work and perfect things. Because you got those questions, but I don't want to keep answering questions because it's a circular loop.
And you're never gonna. I get what you're saying.
You'll never be satisfied.
I have a question also. If somebody were like, let's say I was to be a Muslim, but like certain things I don't agree with that Muslims do. I don't agree with, like, let's say, like, honestly, me, I'm in support of the Palestine movement, right? But let's say, for example, I was a Muslim, but I said, oh no, I don't support Free Palestine. Would this make me a bad Muslim? Would this make me against Muslims? Like, you see the Christians in Nigeria, if I were to say, oh no, I'm a Muslim, I don't support the Muslims slaughtering Christians in Nigeria, would this make me a bad Muslim? If I were to say stuff like, in the UK, how people say, oh, we need to stop building mosques and
Just give me 1 second.
Oh, like how the people in the UK say, oh, we don't want Sharia coming to the UK. If I were to be a Muslim and say, yeah, I don't want Sharia coming to the UK either, would this make me a bad Muslim?
So the question then would be to make an affirmative statement like, no, I do not like Palestine, or no, I do not like Sharia coming to Islam. The objective question would be, do you have knowledge to affirmatively say that? Or do you not know about Sharia fully? Or do you not know about the Palestinian history? If you're speaking out of ignorance, you got to be careful, right? You'd be like, look, the safer thing to say is I don't know because I genuinely don't know enough about the history. There's nothing wrong to say about that. I had a person, his mother was Jewish. He accepted Islam. And I told him one time that he would never, because his dad had Palestinian lineage. And I said to him, you will never appreciate what's happening in Palestine until you accepted Islam. And he thought I was joking. He's like, that's disgusting, you don't know. And he was actually at one point like genuinely believed that Israel was okay. Now as he accepted Islam, he came back to me the other day and said that now I understand why you said that to me. He's like, now I understand why Palestine is so important. Second, in regards to Sharia, I told you, smiling, making you smile is following Sharia. Doing your zakat, giving charity is part of Sharia. Helping and checking in on your neighbors and doing good by them is part of Sharia. So what's so scary about Sharia? Right?
I think certain things, not even that, like, it's not even necessarily an issue with Sharia, but it could also just be an issue. Like, I look at, like, for example, I'm pretty sure all of us here, we have immigrant lineage, you know what I mean?
Sure.
My parents came to America for what America was. If I was a Muslim, but like I said, like, I don't want to change America. We came to America for a reason. I don't want Sharia in America.
Sure.
Like, would this be wrong as a Muslim to say, or would this, or could you?
That's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
I want to keep America the way America is, for example.
No. What does it mean to say I want Sharia in America? What does that mean? Because if we're saying that this is a country that is based upon Christian and Jewish values, then technically the Sharia is already here, because Sharia is just law. And if you're saying that the law of this country is based upon the Torah and the Bible, then it's following Sharia. The difference is that we're coming with a different Sharia, which is the Quran, and the Quran is a more holistic message that applies to all of humanity. So that's why I'm saying to you, these questions are not real, because they're focused upon ignorance to get you to be scared. So even if I were to tell you that Sharia, I would be happy coming to America, right? But the reality is, there's due process, right? There's a system put into place that you have to elect officials. Do you really think it's reasonable to say that out of the 50 senators that exist, that 26 of them would be okay with implementing Sharia? Unlikely.
Not really,
So
yeah.
it's a stupid question because it's relying upon people to try and like focus on this term that you're not familiar with and using that.
Oh.
And again, I said it's a distraction. My objective statement today in terms of your relationship with God is not based upon Sharia. It's based upon whether or not you believe that Islam is true. And you've said yes. So today, Ajani, I'm doing a simple thing. Why don't you accept Islam?
I said no good reasons. Honestly, family, I feel like when
You don't have to tell them.
Yeah, like no, not even that. Like when I was younger, I used to be like, oh, to be a Panamanian is to be a Christian. I don't want no Christians. I don't want no non-Christians in Panama. Like I'll run them all out. I swear. Then like as I got older, I meet Lebanese Muslims in Panama. Immigrants, very kind, very polite. They're not rude at all. And if I'm being honest, you go back enough generations, and my family's ethnically Panamanian now through mixing, but enough generations we weren't. I kind of say, oh yeah, but now I feel like God's making me eat my words. If I become a Muslim, then what kind of Panamanian
Because
am I?
you're growing up and you're realizing that God would make that message clear to you, and He doesn't pick favorites. There's no chosen nation. Okay, that's why even Latino America is the fastest growing minority to accept Islam. Look that up. Right, Latinos in America went from being about 4% to being about 9% Muslim. That's crazy. It's a huge jump. So with that being said, do you believe that there's only one creator in this world?
Of course.
And do you believe that the Prophet Muhammad is a final messenger of God? And that Jesus will one day return and invite everyone to worship that one God?
Yes.
Then you're a Muslim. So do this, right? I want you to take the Shahada if you're comfortable doing so. Then the second thing I would tell you to do is this. Tomorrow you're going to see me, Imam Abdullah. Tell him that, look, yesterday with Brother Ayan from he knows me well, I accepted Islam. But now I'm earnest to learn. So I'm going to ask you the tough questions, and I want you to please push me in the right direction. Now that I'm Muslim, I'm sincerely trying to learn. These are not me trying to like create cause because I'm trying to create doubt for myself not to believe. You believe. Now it's time for us to grow. Would you say that's a fair proposition?
Yes, but also I don't want to take the Shahada. I ask questions, I get an answer I don't like, and I say, oh, I'm going to leave this Islam now. I'd rather kind of know what I need to know before.
So this is what I'll say to you.
Yeah.
You will never be satisfied. Because your questions, like I said to you, notice how we have one question and leads to more?
Yeah.
So this is going to happen. Focus on what it means to be a Muslim. Do not focus on the things that society deems as
Islam
is Islamic.
Islamist, I heard is what
You know what I mean?
using it,
Right?
yeah.
For example, you might have a question, for example, to the Imam, which is a sincere question. Why do I have to pray 5 times a day? That's a very honest question, but you can't appreciate it until you're a Muslim. Right? I can give you a spiritual reasoning for it, but you will not appreciate genuinely that prayer until you do it as a Muslim.
That makes sense too.
Okay.
You know? And honestly, like I said, I can only think of bad reasons as to not be a Muslim. Like,
Do not let the bad guide you in this moment. If you are truly a sincere person, follow that which is within your heart. And I can see you're shaking, because I can see you're nervous.
it's because this is something I never thought. Like, you know, like growing up, oh, I'm Christian, oh yes, like all of this stuff. Now it comes. I used to say stuff like, oh, only bad Christians, people who don't know they're Christian.
Can you give me the box?
You know, I used to say all of this stuff, and now
The Shahada box.
And now look at me. You know what I mean? It's hard. But also, Imam Abdullah, he told me, like, he's gonna get, because the last time we talked, he was like, with the Shahada, what's, like, stopping me? I said, I don't know. He was like, listen, he told me to watch a movie, and he told me he's gonna get me some literature to read up about.
And you read about it. But you've read on your own. Because I know there's no way that you haven't done the research.
I've done a bit, but I feel like once I get something Imam tells me, I'm gonna read it, and then I believe from there, I believe I'll be. That's when I'll, you know what I mean, after I read, because once.
So what's that point though? You read, for example.
Yeah.
You've already done the research. You have Google. You have ChatGPT. I'm sure you watched the movies and the videos.
Yes.
The question is that if you're waiting for that book, what is that book going to have that you haven't already heard the answer for? What is it? What is the great verse that's going to come down in that book that's going to change your mind, right?
Like a biography on Muhammad, I feel like, 'cause I see so much, like, I honestly, like I say, I see stars that I'm pretty sure they're being manipulated.
Yeah.
When I see this stuff, I feel like they're coming with stuff that's like I want to read it all. I want to read it legit biography on Muhammad, because I feel like the movies are not getting stuff that you're gonna get from Muhammad.
Sure.
And I feel like once I read the book and I get all that stuff and I'm able to piece it all together, and I'm able to say, okay, there's nothing I'm missing out on, because the truth is, when I'm gone, if I say I'm a Muslim,
Okay,
my family,
can I ask you this?
Yeah.
Have you read a biography about the life of Jesus completely? And all the way through and through for you to accept him as or your prophet or your God?
Being a Christian my whole life, it's always been stuff like this. There's been movies, there's been scripture, there's been, you're always being pushed with
Sure.
it. So it's like, I'm able to accept this because for years I've been
100%.
taught, you know what I mean?
But my point being is to see that we're not applying the same standard, right? So now all of a sudden it's like, I need this because I need to be convinced, but you already are. You almost, again, you're not, I think what's happening here now, Johnny, is you're going to find this book because you're actually looking for one thing that proves one of the doubtful points as true.
Honestly, that's, like, it's like two sides of me almost fighting where I'm like, okay, this is like, because I know honestly, if I were to become a Muslim, my life's going to be peaceful, my life's going to be good and not to deal with all of this BS I have to deal with now, you know what I mean? And I know, you know what I mean, it's going to, like, honestly, Islam as a lifestyle that Muslims live, I have no issue with, you know what I mean? So, like, I believe, I don't even know. Like, I think it's been, like you said, go home tonight, deeply thinking, deeply talking, and then, I don't know, man, it's so difficult.
Do we have a book about the prophet or anything in there? The green one or the blue one?
But you are right, honestly, I'm looking kind of.
I mean, you've read this one. I've given you this before, right? So based off this, what did you think? Which provides you with a quick summary about the prophet's life and his legacy.
What I think now, that he was a good man, and it's just honestly the people who came after him that messed up everything.
Sure.
That,
Which is quite normal, right? Even the disciples or people who came after Christ.
yeah, I feel like they messed up and stuff, you know what I mean? Also, that's the next reason kind of hard for me, like, it's kind of holding me back a bit from Islam. It's like, for example, you look at the story of the Coptic Church, how
Yeah, so ask your mom if they would want to
St.
go.
Mark the Evangelist established a Coptic Church in Egypt, 42 years. 42 AD, right? The theology for that point on has stayed the same, right? For the most part. So how could Islam come and say his books are corrupt and his theology is corrupted? It stayed the same. Like, it can't, that, but then again, I'd have to do more comparing and contrasting.
Do you know the story of the adulteress? The adulterer?
Which one?
The one in the Bible.
Yes.
What's the story of the adulterer?
She was caught in adultery. She was brought to Christ. They said, oh, following the law, stone her, because the Pharisees wanted to manipulate him. He called, this righteous man called.
And cast the first stone.
Yeah, let the sinner, the man without sin, cast the first stone. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that part of the original Bible? Yes or no?
I'd say, when you said the original Bible, you mean the manuscripts from, like, the first Bible to come out, correct?
Mm-hmm. Or any of the Bible. Like you're saying, for example, even the Bible, the Coptic Bible, right? The one that you follow. Does it have the story of the adulterous woman in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was also told, tell me if this is true. Like, I'm sorry, Rams.
No, keep going.
But, like, I was also told when Muhammad sent his, for lack of a better term, disciple to Abyssinia, I was told that at that time the Christian book wasn't corrupted or wasn't corrupted at that time.
Okay, so first let me show you this and I'll go back to that. Textual evidence. Textual critics point to several manuscript inconsistency when analyzing it. It's first of all missing from all early manuscripts, right? It actually only, and it's not even in the original Bible. So the first full Bible that was created was the Codex Sinaiticus and Vaticanus, and it wasn't there. So that's the earliest Bible that existed. It wasn't in those. Then it says that there was in variable placement. So some Bibles says in John 7:36 and others in 21:25, right? Historical context, etc. But my point being to you is that this story, which is often used and always preached about within churches, it's not even part of the earliest manuscripts. And you can look at it historically yourself. You can go and look at the papyrus manuscripts. You won't find it. And the second thing is, well, the Quran says to the people, judge by what Allah has revealed therein. Meaning that Allah is talking to the Prophet Muhammad and telling the people to judge by what was revealed therein. When you go and actually read that entire chapter, right? It's funny. I wish you were at the mosque last night. That I gave a talk about exactly
Really?
this verse.
Which one? MCMC?
In East Brunswick. I was giving a talk about exactly these verses because a lot of people have been bringing it up recently. So what does it actually say? We have revealed to you, O Prophet, this book with truth. So what is it? The Quran.
Yeah.
As a confirmation of previous scriptures and a supreme authority on them. So judge between them by what God has revealed. So what did Allah reveal to the Prophet? What book?
Quran.
The Quran. So you're judging between them by the Quran and do not follow their desires over the truth that has come to you. For example, like someone I know, he knows that Islam is true, but he's afraid of like the family. He's trying to find questions. He has a lot of doubt, right? He's looking for, I don't know who this guy is, but you know, to each of you, we have ordained a code of law and a way of life. If God had willed, he would have made you one community. So that's the one that showed to people, because it shows that Allah is telling people that when it comes to the scriptures, God using the Quran, because the Quran has not been changed. Now the question here is judging by the gospel. Then the footsteps of the prophets we sent Jesus, son of Mary, confirming the Torah revealed before him. And we gave him the gospel containing guidance and light, and confirming what was revealed in the Torah, a guide and a lesson to the God-fearing. So let the people of the gospel judge by what God has revealed in it.
So I heard of this, yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And those who do not judge by what God has revealed are truly rebellious.
So this confuses, because this
Yes,
is why you
yes.
hear a lot of Christians say as to why they won't be Muslim, because they're like, oh, Allah, like I've heard some Christian scholars in England said, oh yeah, Muhammad was definitely a prophet. They're like, why are you Muslim? They're like, I do what the Quran says. I judge by what was revealed to me. I follow
Yes.
the religion of my fathers. Is what the Quran says.
Yes.
So explain.
So
to
look
me
at
this,
look at the context, right? So it's saying we sent Jesus, son of Mary, confirming. So who was sent with the Injil? Jesus. And we gave him the gospel containing guidance and light and confirming what was revealed in the Torah, a guide and lesson to the God-fearing people. So who is it specifically referring to?
Jesus Christ.
And the gospel that he was given. So it's referring to his people at his time. So let the people. So the people when? Of the gospel. And the gospel is referring to the one revealed to Jesus.
Yes.
And judge by what God has revealed in it. So he is saying to the Christians that you know that you have been given the Injil, yet you don't follow what was revealed within it. So it's actually a challenge to the Christians, saying that you don't follow what Jesus was given because you know that your text has changed. And that is why we had revealed to O Muhammad the book with truth, the Quran, as confirmation of the previous scriptures and supreme authority. And if you read the tafsir of Tabari and Kathir, you'll say that it corrects the mistakes and abrogates the truth, so that way people know what was actually revealed. Because we don't have the gospel of Jesus. We're not talking about the gospel of the prophet at the time of the Prophet Muhammad. We're talking about the gospel as revealed to Jesus. Does that make sense? You see how when you read it, it actually is there?
Yeah.
Like, it's hard for you to like try and change it now that you've seen the truth. So again, I'm going to invite you to Islam, bro. It's a big thing. But imagine if you could go to Imam Abdullah tomorrow and be like, look, I did accept Islam, but I'm now in more of a sincere position to be able to have this conversation with you. Look, I do believe that Prophet Muhammad is a prophet, and you do. Right?
From what I know, yes. From what I know.
So the thing that you want to just read is maybe some stories of his biography. No problem. Because it now adds assurance to that which you believe. Versus if you're going in there saying, I want to read the seerah or the biography of the prophet, but you don't believe, now all of a sudden your honestness is different. You're not reading it because you might want to see if it's true. You might read it just to find falsehood. Right?
I think
see the different perspective.
There's a bit of both, you know. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, if I'm being honest, the man inside of me who grew up as a Christian wants to find some sort of inconsistencies or something to say, oh, this is women not to follow. But also the honest part of me, the intellectually honest side of me, wants to find something that confirms, okay, I can trust this, because it's like, for me, this is like a big step to go and trust this and take this fully, is to go and say, you know what? Because like I know if I go and I tell my family in baby steps, yes, I'm Muslim,
Sure.
I'm gonna be do you know Muhammad this, you know Muhammad that? I'm gonna be showered with questions. I'm gonna be able to, you know what I mean?
So, and this is how you respond to that. I'm still learning. Let me go and ask the scholars and I'll give you the answer.
But then they're gonna say to me, well, why don't you think it was smart to learn before you convert? And that's gonna be
So this is the response to it. Is that your guys are all asking me these questions not because you believe it's true or you want to prove to me it's false. You just want to create doubt. Doubt is to remove you away from truth or to stop you to accepting it. It is not truth itself. Okay? So let people ask you questions. Right? Even to this day, I have questions. So it's like, don't feel like you're going to ever stop learning. Right now it's Muhammad. Maybe tomorrow it's the prayers. Then after that, it's about why should we give charity, etc. But my point being is you could always have more questions. So that is why I'm saying to you, why don't you start with realizing, because you have to evaluate the Prophet Muhammad purely upon what he says and what he teaches.
You know what he did too, correct?
Correct, right?
Yes.
And so when you look at all those things holistically, you haven't found anything that you wouldn't have already believed to have been a problem that hasn't been addressed. Every single problem you have already brought to me. That's why I said to you, bring me one more thing. I was genuine.
Honestly,
you haven't.
Yeah, like
The old bad reasons, right?
yeah, like the stuff I used to think, like I remember I was watching the movie when they were building his home, right? And I was like, this guy, who does he think he is? He has all these people building his home, and then in the next scene, he's carrying the bricks too, you know what I mean?
Listen.
I was like, damn, this guy could say this.
Dude, there's a story about the Prophet Muhammad where there's a woman, his neighbor, she would throw trash into his...
Yeah, and all the time he'd pick it up, clean it, forgive her, and then she converted to Islam, right?
One day she didn't throw the trash. Imagine this, the one day you don't see the trash, what's your reaction gonna be? Aren't you gonna be like, yo, thank God she finally stopped? Right? No, the Prophet said, what's wrong? So he went to her house and he saw that she was sick. And so he helped her get back to good health. And then she accepted Islam. Because she saw like, yo, dude, this guy's crazy. Like, how am I going to like throw trash every single day? The one day that I'm sick, he comes and checks in on me. Right? That is what it means to be a good man and a messenger of God. Because God says like old people are deserving of forgiveness. He forgave. So, look, I'm not going to put pressure on you. I'm not going to put pressure on you, but I will say this. I do want to go.
Yeah, of course,
But
I'm gonna go to you.
I'm going to ask you one last time. You have a sincere heart. Accept it. Embrace Islam today, because you already said it, right? Do it today and take steps. Like I said, maybe one day you might be like, bro, I don't know if I'm... Okay, that's fine. But the difference is at least now your heart and what you're learning is guided towards you essentially firming the truth. You know that the truth is there, so accept it.
I'm gonna do my thinking, I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
Because I got this right here.
Yeah.
We said that we were going to give this today, right? And the reason I have this here is because I like to call it the Muslim Starter Pack. In it, there's a biography of the Prophet Muhammad. So you could get it today. But the reason that I have it here is that if you want to accept Islam, I'll give it to you as a gift, right? Because this is what we do. This here has a prayer mat, it has books, it has everything that you'll need, and I call it the 2K starter pack. All right? You feel me? You know you're 60 overall, you know you need to get your way back up to 99 overall. Use the knowledge. Start with faith. You don't just believe in everything in the Bible. You start with faith first. Then from... Come on. That's the reality of the situation. How about you FaceTime your friend?
He's at work right now.
He'll be like, yo, why is he calling me? He's like, bro, tell him like, yo, I think I want to take my Shahada today.
I'll tell you this, I'm gonna go talk with him on Abdullah tomorrow. I'm gonna tell him how I'm feeling. And if he believes and says I'm ready to, he'll be the first one I text, okay, bro?
All right, then. So make me a promise, though. When you are ready to take your Shahada, you come and do it together? All right, inshallah, bro.